she'll make you lose your mind in the arms of the girl with the indigo eyes. I dream of a dream on the tip of my tongue, of spokes and the wheels and the web she spun. Looking too close, she turned me to stone. So neither one said what the other one wrote. Sweet, her kiss so dry, but the wine was bad by the time we tried. The reds were drawn, the whites did fly, but the wine filled up in her indigo eyes. On the tip of my tongue, of spokes and the wheels and the web she spun. Turning her eyes, she looked pretty stoned. So neither one said what the other one wrote. There's flies in the kitchen. They came in through the window from the hole in the screen. No grass on the lawn. And the rain keeps pouring, and the steam keeps rising, and it's hotter than pavement on the 4th of July. So tell me, the sky's all around us, and there's wood on the fire. The music is playing, and we're getting high. Well, the mountains are peaking. A look in the window, the ocean is waving, waving goodbye. Tell me, I'm the one that'll bring you down. Don't call me baby. Don't call me baby.
Oh, beautiful, for heroes prove, in liberating strife, who more than sail our country love, and mercy more America, oh, America, make God our gold refined, till all success be nobleness in every gain divine. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountains, majesty above the fruited plain. America, oh, America, God shed His grace on thee, and He crowned thy good. He told me He was with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. I said, America, America, God shed His grace on thee, and He crowned that God with a brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Shining sea. Shining sea. Oh, it told me what shining sea. Shining sea. Shining sea.
Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountain, Shenandoah River. Life is old there, older than the trees, younger than the mountains, blowing like a breeze. Country road, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads, all my memories gather round her. Modest lady, stranger to blue water, dark and dusty, painted on the sky. Misty taste of moonshine, teardrop in my eye.
Country road, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country road, I hear her voice in the morning as she calls me. Radio reminds me of my home far away. Driving down the road, I get a feeling that I should have been home yesterday. Yesterday, country road, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads, country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads, oh, take me home down country road.
Yeah. Nice, Ed. All right. Good to see all y'all on it's another Tuesday night. We took a week off to kind of just to take a week off, and it's been a crazy week, and we're glad to be back. And there's a couple tunes from a Message from the People record, a Ray Charles album that we covered, that was meant to be a record to bring us together. And anyway, I know we've all been through a lot the last week with this election, and we are just hopeful for some healing and some unity as a nation. So I know a lot of y'all are excited. I know a lot of y'all are hurting after the election. It's a crazy time, and anyway, just want to we're grateful that you're here with us, and we can be together in music. So here's one from our new record. It's called Truth Left, and I recently watched there's a social network documentary from all the programmers of all the social networks, and what's it called? Anybody know?
The Social Dilemma.
Oh man, that's awesome. The Social Dilemma, and man, it really rocked my world, and I really feel like a big part of why we're so divided is because we are all in our little bubbles of people who all think the same as us, and that's not really what our country looks like. So anyway, this song is kind of about that. It's about how we've kind of become the product, and we're being used by the machine. So let's see here. Oh. Tell me, what's all this shouting for? Yeah, what happened to forgiveness? I see sisters and brothers won't talk to each other no more. Yeah, we're waiting on a breakthrough, looking for a witness, staring at the news, playing back the usual scores. And there ain't no truth left, and we're getting used to it. We are used to the feeling of being used and believing. We are used to the feeling we just can't take anymore. Getting profiled and preached to. They can see you when you're sleeping, keeping tabs on your habits, selling ads you'd never ask for. And there's silence on the sidelines as the rift between us deepens. crosses are all burning while time keeps turning. The knife we ignore, there ain't no truth left, and we're getting used to it. We got used to the feeling of being used and believing. We got used to the feeling we just can't take anymore. We are used to the feeling of being used and believing. We are used to the feeling of being used and believing. We got used to the feeling of being used and believing. We got used to the feeling we just can't take anymore. We got used to the feeling we just can't take anymore.
Cheers.
Wow. Hey y'all, how's it going? Welcome back to the Good Times Supper Club. I know it's only been 2 weeks, but it does feel like it has been longer, like a year or something like that. But this week is a little different. I am currently having a sober week right now because I'm a grown adult and can do that every once in a while. And it's good for you, I will say. But it also gives me a chance to highlight to everybody that I might not even be the best cocktail maker in the band. I will say that I have gotten much better since doing the Good Time Supper Club just by sheer practice of cocktails, but I am actually going to send this back to Austin, Texas, because Gordy is going to make you a very nice cocktail, as always he does. Ladies and gentlemen, Gordy Quist, Austin, Texas.
Wow. Thank you, Jesse. Thank you for that intro and those kind words. I actually have no idea what I'm doing making drinks. I've never been a bartender, but I just like to experiment at home, which is fun. So I was excited today when Jesse asked someone else to do the cocktail. So here we go. Today, I think I'm going to do one of my. I love old fashions. I love margaritas, but I love lots of different kinds of old fashions. I started with the bourbon. and bitters and simple syrup. And I started in that world, and I still love an old fashioned that way. But I also love mixing it up with different spirits. And so today we're going to make a Oaxacan old fashioned. Don't ask me how to spell that. Maybe someone here in the comments will actually know how to spell Oaxacan old fashioned. But the key to this drink is get my glass here. I don't have a fancy table where I can kind of do this where you can see here. But actually, you know what? Maybe I'll make one here. Let's do that. Well, actually, no, I'm not going to do that. I'll probably knock something over. Anyway, the key, in my opinion, to the Oaxacan old fashioned is chocolate bitters, which I don't really love chocolate bitters in bourbon. I'm sure there's probably some great, mixologist knows how to make something cool with chocolate bitters in bourbon. I just haven't figured it out. But these are chocolate chili bitters, and so they got a little spice, and they kind of get the flavors of Oaxaca. And I love bitters in a drink, so there's not a whole lot coming out of this one, but I go heavy on the bitters. Then agave. Now this is kind of to taste. Some people like really sweet drinks, some people don't. I don't like it super sweet. So I'm gonna. Oh, good. We got some Oaxacan spellings down there. Just do a little teeny bit agave in there. Kind of know your audience on this. And then citrus. This is actually a little lemon peel I did right before the show. Lemon or orange. Kind of get the oil from that, and put that in there. Okay, now we're ready for some spirits. Today, I think I'm going to do a half tequila, half mezcal. Sometimes I go all mezcal, sometimes I go all tequila, but I'm going to do half and half. So I got a little Lalo tequila. It's pretty fancy stuff, just recently discovered. It's good. Ooh, John Robert Black Walnut Bitters. Also one of my favorites. Good call. Good in all sorts of spirits. But a little tequila and do a little mezcal. Got a shout out to Steve and Karen Farabee for this mezcal right here. Thank you. The Champagne Fairies. Here we go, a little mezcal. And that's pretty much it. We'll see how this tastes here. Do a little mixing without the ice, and I'll do some with. Again, I'd like to remind you all I have no idea what I'm doing. I like to learn from Jesse, but this is one that I've made a lot of times. I like this one. Little ice cube, and like to bring everyone together over a drink, y'all. Cheers.
Dude.
Delightful.
That looks real good right about now.
Hey, you're almost there.
Yeah.
I swear every week, my wife and I, we say we're going to stop drinking this week. We're like, all right, we're going to take a little break. And we just haven't yet.
Well, I also will state for the record that I'm taking like a 4.5 day business week, sober week. Friday night is we'll talk about it later, but Friday night we have some reason to celebrate a little bit. So that's my goal is at the end of the week. Actually, at the end of the week, I'll make a Oaxacan old fashioned.
Yeah.
That's
Treat yourself.
Delightful.
Treat yourself.
It's tough to stop drinking when your buddy hands you a bottle of Cru Beaujolais.
Oh, true.
What's everyone drinking out there tonight? What are you having? What's your beverages?
Yeah, Trev, man, that bottle was amazing. Last night we opened up a bottle of wine that Trev gifted us. What was that? Some French French wine?
Fleury. It's a domain in one of the crews in Beaujolais.
Nice. It's very, very good.
Domaine Passot, I think. Yeah, it's really good.
All right. Well, man, how's everybody doing? How? I mean, it's been a crazy week. Everybody's got a lot going on. Everybody feeling good. It feels good to be back with the Good Time Supper Club. Good to see you guys.
It's good to be back, man.
Yeah.
Talked about our guest tonight in our remote transmission.
Man, Richard, you're in a whole new spot, aren't you?
Yeah, just about all moved in.
Well, you look great.
What's that?
You look great, man.
Thanks, dude.
What you got in your hands there, Rich?
Why, some Troublemaker, of course.
Ooh.
Austin Hope.
Yeah, Austin Hope Wines. Troublemaker.
Cool.
Nice.
I gotta say, I'm impressed with the variety of beverages out here in Comment World. We've really we're running the gamut. We have a sophisticated, erudite group of drinkers out here. I'm proud to be part of this community.
I think the pandemic, people definitely got their drink scene dialed at home. Know what they need for Tuesday nights.
All I know is that whenever I'm driving home around 5 p.m., the liquor stores are all very crowded right now. So people are making sure they're not running out.
Man, I gotta say, I'm looking in the comments, and we got a comment from our friend Greg Gamble, who
Strip out.
Jesse, you've had my tequila old fashioned and asked for my thoughts. I will say, I told him at the time, it was delicious. It was so delicious. I love his tequila old fashioned. And I will also say that when I went to my parents' house after I had that for you, my dad had the same tequila. Is it called? I forget what it's called. Maybe you can comment it here, but the tequila is delicious and super smooth and really awesome. So
How about this? Greg Gamble, everybody. Gamble Works Guitars. He's made a bunch of guitars for us. He's in the comments there talking about this tequila old fashioned he made for Jesse. Greg, if you're out there,
Doble.
and you Doble, all right, Dobel Diamante. If you want to give away all your secrets, Gamble, put the recipe in the comments. Ooh, we'd all love to know.
That's a hard challenge, you know?
But you don't have to. I won't be offended if you want to keep it to yourself.
It's fair.
Wow.
Ed, how you doing, man?
I'm good. You know what we don't like to keep to ourselves are the personal concerts that you and I have been doing. Those are a lot more fun when we have people with us. Speaking of those, we have a few of them left in November. So if you don't know about them, it's time to find out. I mean, it's so easy. You go to, Gordy's going to probably put the link in the comments there. But, and we do a lot of this. We do some talking, some hanging. We play some songs. You can customize the set list to your liking. It's a good time, people. I encourage you. I encourage you. And with that in mind, I'm gonna play you a little song here. One that I've been enjoying, one of the new ones here. This is called South by Somewhere. Wish I could go way back when the truth was real and I could touch her skin. But I'm caught here in the middle of the world, behind the movers and the shakers and the glamorous girls. Stuck behind the movers and the shakers and the glamorous girls. But they don't give a good damn for me.
It ain't cool to be blue in the land of the free. Nah, it ain't cool to be blue in the land of the free. I'm done going south bound somewhere, northbound no one. I'm running out of town, missing the fire when I live with desire. Well, you know you felt the same way too, when you're lost in the middle and there's nothing you could do. You wanna run away to get back home to a sweet little girl and the ones I love. Yeah, to my sweet little girl and the ones I love. I'm done going south by somewhere, northbound no one. I'm running out of town, missing the fire when I live with desire. Done going south by somewhere, northbound no one. I'm running out of town, I'm missing the fire when I live with desire. I'm dropping out, tired of signing in. You're trying to pick up my life. He's trying to pick up my life. He's trying to pick up my life. He's trying to pick up my life. Richard, it's Vinyl Richie time, Los Angeles, California, yeah.
All right. Thanks, man. That was beautiful. Can anybody guess what song Ed was just playing is? In the comments. That was the second track off the record we're going to talk about. Not sure if anybody's having any luck because I can't see, but let's go ahead and get into it. So that was Bell Bottom Blues, which, like I said, is the second track off of this record that we're going to talk about. Derek and the Dominoes, Layla, and Other Assorted Love Songs, which is one of my favorite albums of all time. This record also just celebrated its 50th birthday yesterday. It was released November 9th, 1970. There's so much about this record that interests me, and I just want to talk a little bit about the background on the band and I guess what are the stepping stones to the creation of this album. So let's get into it here. In 1969, Blind Faith brought out the American Let me stop real quick. If you don't know, this record is an Eric Clapton album, but it's much more a band record than I guess a solo record of his. So if you didn't know, we're talking about an Eric Clapton band, so which is why we're also talking about Blind Faith here. So in 1969, Blind Faith brought out an American act called Delaney and Bonnie and Friends on the road to open some shows. They did U.S. shows and shows in Europe. This would be how a select group of relationships were made, and I think these are relationships that are very important to music fans worldwide, and have been for generations and will be for generations to come. That's how important I think this album is, and this group of players and what they did. In between shows on this Delaney and Bonnie and Friends and Blind Faith tour, in the UK, the Friends ended up being the backing band, along with Leon Russell and a few other guys, on Eric Clapton's solo debut album, because he just dug him so much, you know. So Delaney and Bonnie and Friends would disband soon after that tour, and members kind of went their separate ways. You had Bobby Whitlock, who was playing organ, sometimes piano, mostly organ and singing. He stuck around with Delaney and Bonnie, while Jim Gordon, drummer, Carl Radle, bass player, Bobby Keys, and Jim Price, horn section, they joined up with Joe Cocker and Leon Russell for the quite extravagant Mad Dogs and Englishmen tour. And then Bobby Whitlock would soon quit Delaney and Bonnie, and he was an old Memphis boy. He was really close with Steve Cropper and all the Stax guys. He grew up playing, hanging around that studio. He actually had a couple of early singles in the 60s when he was really young on, I can't remember the label. I want to say it's like Northern Hip, not Northern Songs, North Soul, Northern Soul, something like that. It's kind of like not bubblegum pop, but like West Coast pop coming from Stax, I guess. It was really cool stuff. But anyways, so he was hanging around that scene, and Steve Cropper, who he was pals with, suggested that Bobby travel to England and start hanging with Clapton. So that quickly turned into Bobby moving into Clapton's home, and the pair soon began jamming and writing songs. And they wanted to form a full band, so they reached out to Carl Radle and Jim Keltner, who turned down the offer because he was in the middle of a session, and that session was with Gabor Szabo, who's a fantastic Hungarian guitar player. His records are really out there. You should check that stuff out. That particular record is called Bacchanal, which is my favorite Gabor Szabo album, so check that out. So Keltner turned down the offer, and so then they reached out to Jim Gordon, who was actually already planning on coming back to the UK to work on George Harrison's All Things Must Pass record, and they all were. So it was like, it just made sense. So you have Eric Clapton, Bobby Whitlock, Carl Radle, and Jim Gordon together working on All Things Must Pass, and that's where they really became a band. That was kind of, they were living together at George's house, at Clapton's house, and they were playing together every day, working on a Beatle album, an ex-Beatle album. So the group spent the summer working up material and touring around the UK, while also working on records like Leon Russell's solo record, Dr. John's The Sun, Moon, and Herbs. They did some sessions working with King Curtis. Doris Troy has an album that they're on that's fantastic. So they were working a lot. And by August, they were ready to start making their own album. Bobby and Eric had written 6 songs together of the 9 originals, I think. And so Clapton had the other tunes. And then there's 4 or 5 more songs on the record, and they're covers. So the bulk of the record was written by Bobby Whitlock and Eric Clapton. So they flew to Miami, Florida, to record at Criteria with the legendary Atlantic Records producer Tom Dowd, who was an amazing producer and engineer. He worked on everything from Ray Charles' What I'd Say to Bobby Darin's Mac the Knife. He's just worked with so many people. Legendary. So at the same time, Tom Dowd was also working on the Allman Brothers Idlewild South album. And so he ended up getting Dwayne Allman into the Dominoes mix. And Dwayne is on all but 3 tracks on this record. So really amazing guitar playing between Clapton and Dwayne Allman. If you're a fan of that and haven't heard this record, I can't believe that. But now you know, so please check it out. And the inspiration for this album, and specifically the title track, Layla, is Eric Clapton's love for Pattie Boyd, who at the time was George Harrison's wife. So really interesting dynamics there. They were best friends. We don't have to talk about that, but that's the story. This painting, they just happened upon while at a friend's house in France, and they saw this painting hanging in a room. They were like horsing around in a room or something. I can't remember the story, but yeah, they just saw this painting and immediately were like, that's it. And Eric was apparently just kind of, he just thought this looked like Patty, and it kind of amazed him. So this became the cover of the record. There's a live record. This is the only studio album they did. They were working on another one, but there's a live record that's also so good. You should check that out. The interesting thing about this is that when it came out, it did so bad on the charts. It got good reviews from Rolling Stone and a couple other publications, but did not do well as far as charting goes. But in 1972 or 73, a couple years later, whenever I think Paula Dore put out an Eric Clapton greatest hits best of album, they put Layla on that record. And so then Layla charted. People didn't know this was an Eric Clapton album. Derek and the Dominoes, you know, their tour, all their shows were like 40, 50 people, maybe 100 people, because it was billed as Derek and the Dominoes. And Clapton specifically wanted that because he didn't want to ride on the coattails. He didn't want to ride on his own coattails. So that's kind of cool, you know. But yeah, so there's some links that you should be seeing. One is to check out a fucking awesome video. It's the only clip of the band as Derek and the Dominoes playing live, and it's on the Johnny Cash show. It's them doing It's Too Late and Matchbox with Carl Perkins, which is so cool. And then there's a link to purchase the record from Waterloo Records. There's a few different versions, like a deluxe edition, anniversary edition, so you can pilfer through that. And then there's a video, if you want to check it out, of the beginnings of the band. It's a YouTube video of Delaney and Bonnie and friends, I think in Copenhagen, playing a show, and you see everybody there, and that's kind of when they first met and started playing together, so that's pretty cool. And then there's a link to check out the record on Spotify. So that's it. Check it out. Awesome record. Beautiful cover. I really dig the inside. This kind of collage deal. I love this. Photos from the session, from the sessions. So yeah, Layla, Derek and the Dominoes. Check it out.
Man, thanks, Rich. Hey, I got a trivia question for people. I'm going to do a song here in a minute, but I got to ask everybody. When Richard joined the band, Richard was playing with another artist, and our old drummer, John Chipman, saw Richard playing with this other artist and immediately called Ed and me and Trevor and said, because he had already told us he wanted to get off the road and be at home more, and so we were kind of looking for another drummer, but he immediately, after seeing Richard play with this artist, said, I found your next drummer. In the comments, who knows who Richard was playing with? And you'll get bonus points if you know what venue they were playing. I'm going to play a song, and then we'll revisit. You guys pay attention to the comment and see if any... Ooh, we already got an answer.
Skip, not fair.
Not fair, Skip.
Skip, you
Oh,
have
come on,
excited
Skip.
production.
Oh, all right. Well, should we just... Now that the answer is there in the comments. Bobby Whitlock.
One of the loudest singers ever. Guy who overloads microphones everywhere he goes. That's another clip. Oh, okay. Gordon.
Trevor was saying he's the loudest singer ever. Bobby Whitlock.
Yeah.
The man has some pipes.
Yeah, he brings it all. I mean, nothing's left behind when he's singing. It's all him. It's pretty amazing because he's a pretty kind of a small guy. He's a pretty short dude. You would have no idea that he has that much power. But yeah,
Pretty amazing.
Pure
Playing
soul,
with legends.
soul
Yeah.
singer, man. He does. He puts it all into it.
absolutely.
Incredible.
Yeah. Well, pretty cool. Yeah, Rich was playing with Bobby Whitlock, a legend from that record and many others. But
Yeah.
and then we were lucky enough to steal you away, lure you into the Good Time Supper Club Band of Heathens camp.
That's right.
Glad to have you, man.
Hell yeah.
All right. Yeah, here we go. I'm going to play a song here. All right. Thanks for all the requests in the comments. She got rings on her finger that shine like mercury. She never paints her nails, she like a mellow from nicotine. Well, you can keep your fashion mag. She like Tito's in a paper bag, falling off her hips, wishing you was in her jeans. She never talked too much, but you know just what she'd say. She got a space in her teeth where she hides her words away. She knows she looking good. She don't care if she's understood. She even talks dirty when she's on her knees to pray. Swinging from a cage, acting half her age. No time for games, she knows just what you need. Looking for another man, she found me right where I stand. I love that sugar, love my sugar queen. People start talking when you walking on down the street, dropping them jaws with every single one she meets. She likes to get her thrills on the edge of the windowsill. All the people gather around, she coming on home with me. Swinging from a cage, acting half her age. No time for games, she knows just what she needs. Looking for another man, she found me right where I stand. I love that sugar, love my sugar queen. Don't you know I love that sugar, love my sugar queen. From a cage, acting half her age. No time for games, she knows just what she needs. Yeah, she looks so good in fur. You got to hear that pussycat purr. Oh, you know I love that sugar, love my sugar queen. Don't you know I love that sugar, love my sugar queen. Don't you know I love that sugar, love my sugar queen.
Very nice. Well, we have reached that time in the show again, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Drum roll. Our special guest this week, we are very happy to have the wonderful, talented, and just honestly, a great person, great human being, awesome dude, Mr. JD McPherson. JD, you there, man?
Am I?
Yeah.
Am I here?
Yes.
Did it work?
It worked.
You had no idea what kind of spaghetti wires I had going trying to get. Sad. It's sad, sad, sad.
You know, like we've been doing this for this is our 31st show. And I don't know how long you've been like I don't know how long you've been playing in bands for, but I remember like playing in bands in high school when like you had to bring your own PA. You kind of knew how the amps worked, but not really. Something would always break either like right before you were about to play or during the show, and you'd break out in this like cold, nervous sweat. Well, basically every week of this is kind of like that.
Well, I mean, you guys are pulling this off seemingly effortlessly, but whatever lessons like that you learned in high school, you are relearning them in full force with your special guest, JD McPherson, this week, because I have kept you guys on your toes.
We're all like Chappelle said when he did his SNL monologue last week. He goes, "I'm really nervous. You can't see that I'm nervous, but I'm nervous on the inside." Yeah. And every time we push this stream to go live, there's just like that moment where it hangs in the air, and I'm just like, is this gonna work this week or not?
A lot of assumptions of like, I'm assuming that this is currently working right now, and some people hopefully tell me if not.
Yeah, we could just be talking amongst ourselves. That's it. This is the show.
Honestly, that's why we started doing it. We were kind of like, we're so nerdy that the 9 months of the year that we get to spend together all the time. We had like a couple weeks off from it, and we were like, God, I kind of miss each other. We need to figure out a way to get together and hang out.
That happens. It does happen. This is the long. I mean, I know everybody probably says this every week, but this is the longest I've ever been home. I mean, even before I was in a band, like I'm not like working, so it's like I'm at home all the time, and I'm used to also, seeing a group of guys on a regular basis that I don't see. And of course, we've actually stayed in touch pretty well, but you all have got it down to a science. We just kind of see each other when we can. But I just found out that I'm basically neighbors with Jesse.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I thought you guys were all just firmly ensconced in Texas. And now I know Ed's over in Asheville, and learn all kinds of stuff when you talk to people.
Well, it's the benefit of being home. You get to meet your neighbors that you never see. Yeah. People learn stuff, and actually, it's funny because I was doing an interview the other morning with a Texas radio station, and the DJ is like, "I didn't even know that there was a place called Asheville," and I said, "Well, listen, this is what COVID's all about. We got time to get educated, man. Hit the books."
Well, what was the Portlandia episode where they're in Portland, which is like the hot place to be, and then they hear that Nashville might be the hot place to be, so they move to Nashville, and then they hear that Asheville is the hot place to be, so they move to Asheville, and then finally they end up moving to Shville. Subdivisions every time. I love Asheville. We were just there. My family, we just took a little road trip up to Mount Mitchell. A couple of weeks ago, a buddy of mine's cabin, and we, ironically alleviated our cabin fever by going to an actual cabin. So
nice.
More trivia there. Mount Mitchell, the highest point east of the Mississippi.
Yes, that's absolutely true. Wow. Or at least that's what they say.
So what have you been doing with COVID fever? Have you been playing music? Have you been working with the fellas? Have you been hanging out at home? What have you been doing?
Well, we started a new album in January. We went to LA and started an album in January, and then came home and took a couple of weeks off. And then everything happened, and I just checked out. I didn't touch a guitar for months. Literally, I planted a massive garden, and I built the Taj Mahal of chicken coops. And that's just in dad mode. And up until recently, I really hadn't been thinking about it that much. I was like, well, we got a record in the can. We need to. And so started working on it again. And that's just been recently kind of picking it up again where it was left off, which was mostly rhythm tracks and some key stuff and bass stuff. And it's been really, it's been a nice little break, but I'm very, very happy. It sort of reminds me of being 15 or 16 again, where I'm just at home working on guitar stuff all the time. And it's kind of brought a little bit of that childlike joy back, I guess you could call it. So, but that's pretty much it. That's the last 7 months in a nutshell. Total psychosis, back into regular scheduled program.
And you came up in Tulsa, is that right, JD? Is that where you?
Yeah, I was born in Tulsa, and but then I grew up in Southeast Oklahoma. Sort of, I don't know if you guys know. I don't know if any of you guys know where like the Talamina Drive is, like just over the. Anyway, southeast corner is where I'm from. I don't know. Texans don't usually come up to to where we are. We're like the first line of defense against invading Texans from the south. So that was that was where I grew up. But then when I met my wife, we moved to Broken Arrow, which is where she's from, which is a suburb of Tulsa. And we were there for quite a long time, and been in Nashville now for 5 years almost. I'm really bad with dates. Yeah. I'm really bad with schedules. I don't know if you guys know that or not.
So, do you any idea when the record's going to be out, or is that just kind of fluid as it happens?
There's a hopeful buoyancy to the idea that it will come out in spring when shows start happening again. I hope that happens, but spring is what we're shooting for. It's going to be kind of a springtime record. And hopefully at that point, we'll be able to immediately go play shows because we are so ready to do that.
Yeah. Well,
I know that you guys are too.
That would be a real kind of a catapult, hit the ground running, kind of momentum building deal.
Yeah.
Putting a record out right when things get going again.
But if it doesn't happen that way, that's fine too. We'll figure it out. One thing that I've been really amazed by is how supportive music fans are during this time, like how incredibly giving they are. Sure you guys have noticed the same thing, but all the live streaming thing has been kind of, we haven't done it nearly as much as you guys have, not even close. But when we have done it, it's been really great and just great to hear from people. And I know everybody, I know when those first shows happen, it's going to be bonkers. People are going to go, we're all going to go crazy together. So,
yeah.
Hey, we had some people asking in the comments, JD, is the record being produced by the same folks that did Undivided Heart and Soul?
Well, sort of. It's this next one is band. It's just me and the guys, and our front of house person who's like a member of the band, Mr. Ryan McHugh. Ryan is from Scotland, and he had a studio in Scotland, and he had, that was his stock and trade, was recording bands for a long time. And then he started doing live sound, and he's been with us for a few years now. And if you've seen us in the early days versus now, you can tell what Ryan has done for us. I mean, like, he's really made a huge difference in our live show. So we're like, let's get out of Nashville in January and go to Los Angeles and get some sunshine. And so we just packed up, and I don't know. I know that you guys will know this, but we recorded at East West Recorders, which used to be Western Recorders Studio 3, which is famous for being the Pet Sounds room, the Brian Wilson room. And so we just kind of camped out in there for a couple of weeks and just wrote and arranged what will be the next thing. And it was a total blast while it was happening. So we're really excited to put that out and let people see what they think.
Yeah.
The last thing, I think, is the last thing that you put out, the Socks, the Christmas record.
Yeah, that was it. That was two years ago, almost 3 now.
Yeah.
And well, I will say for all the people watching that have not checked out Socks, we are quickly approaching the time of the season to put on the Christmas records, and that is the one of our favorites over here, I will say.
Yeah.
Thank you
that
very
is,
much.
Highly recommended. I'll second that, Jesse. For the people who have not checked out JD's Christmas record, that thing is amazing. I don't know how you pulled it off, man, but it's like you pulled, like there just seemed like you wrote something that had already been there in my mind or something like that. Like, where are these songs coming from? How did he do this? They're all like just classic, you know?
Well, thank you very much. Well, I don't know. I just kind of blacked out, and then there was a Christmas record. I don't. No, it was really fun to make, and really fun to record, and really fun to perform live. And we're really proud of it. And sometimes where like people will make a seasonally sensitive record, and like, you know, it comes out and that's it, and they don't ever talk about it again. We actually want to talk about it. We want, you know, people to listen to it, and we want little kids to read the little lyric sheet and everything. And that's really cool about this time of year. It's pretty sparse right now. There's some really hardcore Christmas people, but you know, after Thanksgiving, that's when the little videos of kids on, like, you know, sugar highs, like bouncing off the walls and listening to the record, that we kind of like really live for that now. That's like the best part of November, is gearing up for that.
Yeah, it's awesome, man.
Man, did anything break over there? Everything all right?
No, I think it was one of my pins.
Oh,
I have this pin. It's a beatnik with an ice cube on his head. It says like, "Cool, man, cool." It's old, so it fell off of me.
Cool.
That's
cool.
JD is right. We do live awfully close to each other, and we found out because we got together safely, COVID-wise, in the backyard and recorded some vocals of his for a new remote transmission. So I'm going to go ahead and make the segue here.
I love it.
I would also like to, in the segue here, Jesse, one comment. Someone was asking Ed about your shirt, Ed.
Yes, I hit them back about that, but that was
Where did you get that shirt?
I got the shirt in Newport, to another segue, and I actually was going to ask. I was trying to remember which one of these came first, if it was Cayamo or if it was Newport. But for those out there listening, those are the two times that JD and us have collaborated on some stuff. So so we'll start with the first thing here, and we'll do the vid, and then we'll come back to the other thing. But this shirt is from Newport, and it was chain stitched by Fort Lonesome. Wonderful ladies there. And that same week, we did a kickoff show at the Newport Blues Cafe, I think. And we had a bunch of friends join us, and JD was so gracious to join us, and everyone picked a couple of songs that they wanted to cover. So we basically did a big cover show, a party show. And the thing you're about to hear right now is a tune that we played one time before live, and you will get to hear how much JD has been practicing guitar at home, because he just shreds this tune like there's no mañana.
It's like high school again, I'm telling you.
He was shredding so hard when we played this live in Newport that I saw a guy in the front row spontaneously combust. Just disappeared.
So be careful, guys.
Were like, what the hell happened? Where did he go? It was like,
well, awesome. And everybody keep in mind, this was Newport Folk Festival. Newport Folk Festival. This was JD McPherson's bold choice for our jam. Are y'all ready?
Oh yeah.
Remote transmission time.
Yeah.
Here we go.
All right.
confusion in their minds. Children start to mark. It's the world in which they have to live, and all the hate that's in their heart. Tired of being pushed around and told just what to do. To fight the world until they won, and love comes flowing through. Yeah. Children of tomorrow living in that fall today. Will the sun rise up tomorrow? Bring peace in any way. Must the world live in the shadow of atomic fear? Can they win the fight for peace, or will they disappear? Yeah.
Well done, gentlemen.
It's funny. Everyone in the comments were like, "Oh, and people must have been, like someone said something like, imagine the reaction was similar to the scene from Back to the Future." And actually, no, people were loved it. People were like, they lost their minds. It was awesome.
Well, I remember prefacing it with, this is a song about peace and love and optimism and true brotherhood of man. And it is about that. Totally. If you read the lyrics, that's what it's about. But so it fits with the folk mentality. Just, it was like, went electric or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
Man, you guys did such a good job. When I got the rhythm tracks for that, I was like, yes, man, Richie. I knew that Richard was like, when we played it in Newport, he was like really geeking out about it. And then I heard like the final mix, and it was like, oh yeah, we had to do another mix because Richard wanted to do the timbale overdub. And I'm like, yes, yes.
Yeah, it's just a funny part. Like you would not think in a million years that there's timbales on a Black Sabbath tune, especially
when I was a kid, when I was really like first listening to that stuff, I didn't know, we didn't have the internet. That telling my age a little bit, but there was no like way to look up, kind of track by track. You didn't have that guy that like goes to stems and shows you what everybody does. So I thought, this is how stupid I was. I thought that sound was Geezer Butler's, because I knew that they tuned down to like C sharp. So I thought Geezer Butler's bass strings were flopping so much from picking it, they was hitting the humbuckers on the bass. So I was like, man, that's the sound. I would like tune the things down, try to get that ticka 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 ticka.
Yeah, but you know what? That's when cool shit happens is whenever you're like trying to figure out a sound on something, and maybe you don't know what it is, but you try to emulate it, and then something new, comes out of it.
I remember too thinking that Bill Black's the bass, the upright bass, the slap bass on the Elvis Sun sessions. I was trying to like make little recordings and stuff with a little Tascam 4-track, and I would like play drumsticks on a CD case because I thought it was some kind of like percussion instrument. Well, it is a percussion instrument, but I didn't know that you could do that with a bass till way later.
Speaking of bass, also I do want to say that your bass player that plays with your band, Jimmy, he's one of the coolest guys ever. One of the best.
Absolutely. He is the coolest. Yeah. He's a cool dude. I just saw him on Halloween. Him and his little family came over, and we had we closed our street off, and my street is just like lousy with 5-year-olds. They're just all over the place. And so we had been all kind of quarantined together. And so he came over and brought his little girl, and we made sure that they had some kind of Halloween, because it would be one of the first years that she's actually going to, be aware of what Halloween is. So we wanted to make it a good one. But yeah, we just saw them the other day. He's doing really good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Y'all have been playing together for a while, right? Is there a Chicago connection there? Is that what it is?
About 10 years now, I guess 10, 11 years. Yeah, I had a band that I was, when I was in Tulsa area, I wanted to go play a tour up through Kansas City and St. Louis and Chicago, which was like a really frequent thing that everybody did. And so I didn't know Jimmy, but I just messaged him on MySpace and asked if we could play in Chicago. He set it up, and that's how we got to talking, and eventually made that first record together. So yeah, we
he engineered it, or
he produced it, and it was his studio up in Chicago, and our good buddy Alex Hall engineered it and played the drums on that first record. Alex is a brilliant engineer, and he's like he was a huge part of that project too. Yeah, man, that was 10 more than 10 years ago or something.
Well, speaking of 10 years ago, were you on one of the Americana conference showcases with John Fogerty upstairs? I feel like we played on the same bill around that time. Is that Ed? Do you remember that?
It sounds familiar, but what's interesting is I remember hearing about JD from Al Moss, our great radio. Promo
Al
guy.
Moss.
Yeah,
man, I know Al Moss.
He turned me on to you guys, and I remember hearing the record and being like, these guys are really good. And then it's always this thing like, there's bands that make good records and there's bands that can play live, and some bands can do both of them. I remember our band going to watch your band play and being like, you know what I mean? Like, we're all just like, oh yeah, cool. These guys These guys are all badasses, and everyone can play their music really well. It's very cool. And just to tell our fans out there, if you haven't checked out JD's stuff, you must go check it out. Buy his records and
Go now.
Go now.
It's almost Christmas. They make incredible Christmas gifts. All the records do. Hanukkah. There's many gift giving days during Hanukkah.
My birthday's next week, guys.
Yeah.
You don't birthdays.
I think I have all your records though, JD. So I'll take a second copy of any of them.
Hey,
well, I'd like to sell you that record today.
We would like everybody out there in streaming world hanging out with us tonight to give somebody else one of JD McPherson's records for Jesse Wilson's birthday.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I did this.
How many times do y'all need to hear Don Henley sing "Baby Please Come Home for Christmas"?
As many as possible.
It's over. Now is the time for socks. Yeah.
God love Don Henley.
Definitely.
God love him.
Definitely.
Yeah. Hey, I got a question for you, man. I seem to remember us having some pretty good conversations on Kayamo about records and stuff. What have you been listening to lately? Anything new popping up?
Oh man. Yeah. Kind of don't want to say what I have been listening to because it changed like my whole influence. I'll just say this. I'll give a cryptic answer because I bought this record at our local at Grimey's here in Nashville. I ordered it and I got it in and played it, and it like caused me to go back and re-record all my guitar stuff on the new record. Oh. And it's a Lee Hazelwood record.
Oh.
But it's not what some people would think that means. So if you're some kind of like German rockabilly purist and you hear that it's a Lee Hazelwood record, it's not what you think. But that blew my mind, and I love everything Lee Hazelwood's ever touched. Like, just massive fan. There is I've been listening to a lot of stuff that came out of California in the 50s and 60s, a lot of Wrecking Crew stuff, because that's a big influence on the new record too. So I've listened to a lot of Beach Boys. I've been listening to a lot of 60s Everly Brothers stuff. A lot of people, everybody loves Everly Brothers, big, RCA stuff. But man, they made some really far out records in the 60s. Like fuzz guitar, psych stuff. And cool. I don't know. I'm a massive fan of them.
Yeah, that's awesome.
There's a friend of mine from some Oklahoma friends of mine are this band. They're one of my favorite bands ever. They're called Broncho, and I always tell everybody they should check Broncho out. They're a really strange band, punk influenced, but some of the most infectious melodies you're going to hear like this wall of reverb and feedback, but right on the other side of that wall are like some of the greatest pop melodies I've ever heard. So I would encourage everybody to check out Broncho, Broncho.
Yeah, they're awesome. They're very cool.
Yeah.
Big fan
Are
of
they based in LA now, or are they still?
I think they're based in Tulsa. The last time I talked to Ryan, they have like a compound there in the industrial park where they rehearse and make all their stuff. They're like a little cult. I don't know. Cool. It's hard to penetrate the cult. I'll always sit in front of the hi-fi and with a drink and play Broncho record, and I'll email Ryan or text Ryan a picture of or a video of me listening to his records, and then he'll send some random completely disassociated image back. Is a real hoot. Great live too.
Yeah. Cool. Actually, you know what? Randomly enough, all the Heathens, you have met him. He happened to be with a mutual friend of mine at Hotel Van Zant at the last night of South by, the last time we played there. He was with a mutual friend of mine, this girl Pearl Charles, who's also a awesome singer-songwriter, and she and Ryan were at the Van Zant. Just FYI, you guys actually have met him.
Nice.
where Bobby Whitlock sat in with us.
Where Bobby Whitlock.
Oh yeah.
Whoa, full circle.
Full circle. So, I mean, full circle. We have to thank Al Moss for introducing us to you. And, you know, I have to just say, it's been the few times we've got to play together, it's been a huge pleasure. So we thank you very much for doing this with us and spending a little time hanging out, making a cool track. And hopefully we'll all get to be on the road again soon. Maybe we'll get to play some shows together, and look forward to collaborating with you again, man, as soon as possible.
I would love that. And you know, we've met out on the road a couple of times. We've been thrown together by larger forces to do things together, but I was glad that we were able to do something where we were kind of our own captains on this thing. And it was a real pleasure dealing with every one of you guys' pro gear, pro attitude, and helping me wade through the mire of technology, which I do not understand. So you guys are the best, one of the best bands out there. So thank you so much for inviting me.
Back at you, man.
And thank you so much.
Thank you.
Man, it's been
Well, man, we'll see you soon.
JD McPherson, everybody. Check it out. Thanks, brother. We'll see you around.
Hey,
Take
man.
care, guys.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, man.
Right. Yeah, that was awesome.
Did the record at East West. That's legendary.
Yeah, dude, I know. I can't wait to hear it. I know that it's gonna be awesome. All his records, for everybody who has not experienced them, I really recommend all of them. I know we kind of highlighted Socks, but Let the Good Times Roll and Undivided Heart and Soul, and his first one too, all of them really awesome. Really recommend it.
Hell yeah.
Should we just bounce right down the road in East Nashville over to your place there,
Yeah,
Jesse?
come on.
Nikki Bloom, you in there? Is Nikki Bloom in the house? Oh yeah.
Here. Hey guys.
Hey, Nikki.
I was just buying socks.
Nice.
Sucks. It's true.
Hey, I don't know if we talked about it on the show yet, but we're psyched. You're going to be doing some shows with us, in real shows in person.
Real life.
I know.
Ooh.
I still haven't fully absorbed the reality of that. It's gonna be great.
Me neither.
In the car and do a road trip and have a adventure to go on.
Birdie, go. Go, Lee.
Yeah. Birdie.
Come here,
Birdie.
Come here, Birdie.
Here, Birdie.
Dogs don't respond to voices over phones and computers.
I know. They know. They know it's not real.
They do know. They're living in the real world in the now.
Yeah.
Boy.
Hey, you guys, take it away.
Yeah, what do you guys got going on? Fill us in on. We got some big news from y'all, right?
Yeah, so in May, I had a tour planned that was gonna be a tour all of Cher songs. I was kind of in between record cycles, and I wanted to do something that was gonna be fun and new and fresh, and a friend was like, man, you should do some Cher. And I was like, that's a really good idea. So I put a band together, including actually Jesse and Richard, and we were all gonna go out to New England and do the tour, and COVID happened and it was canceled, and that kind of went away, but I was still just so excited about the idea and the songs and the catalog, and Jesse and I got to talking, and we were going to do sort of a virtual live show of the band playing in full, but we were having a streak of terrible weather, and so it kind of boiled down to creating almost like little remote transmissions linked together to do one big visual album of Cher songs. So that is premiering on Friday, the 13th, this Friday,
this
at
Friday.
8 p.m. Central.
Yeah.
And all information will be at nikkibloom.com. So if you like Cher and you like Jesse's film work and bass playing and Richard's drumming, and all your guys.
I actually didn't play bass on one song.
That's true.
Her normal bass player, Cameron Karras, who is awesome. We love him. And Richard played drums, and Trevor is playing piano on a song. And if you guys are fans of the remote transmissions, I do think you'll like this. This is like almost a full length version of a remote transmission with multiple songs and some transitional stuff, some narrative, and it's really fun.
And some very special surprise sunnies.
Some surprise guests, and it's really awesome. So Friday night, 8 Central, we're going to be premiering it, and we'll be hanging. That's why I'm not drinking this week. I'm giving myself a break, and Friday night we'll be premiering it, but we'll also be hanging out in the comments and stuff, and I'm going to be having some cocktails that night.
Maybe you'll make a cocktail that night.
Maybe that night I'll make a cocktail. But anyways, we're going to play one of the songs that's on this this collection.
You're the only ones who are revealing this too.
Well, yeah. Ready?
Yeah. Saw him today. I saw his face. It was a face I loved, and I knew I had to run away. Get down on my knees and pray that they go away, but still they begin. Needles and pins, because of all my pride, the tears I try to hide. Yeah, I thought that I was smart, I learned his heart, I didn't think I'd lose, but now I see she's worse to him than me. Let him go ahead, take her love instead. One day you'll see just how to say please. Oh, and get down on his knees. Oh, that's how it begins. You feel those needles and pins hurting him, hurting him. Why can't I stop and tell myself it's wrong, so wrong, so wrong? Why can't I stand up and tell myself be strong? Because I saw him today. I saw his face. It was a face I love. I can't let go, although I know he'll make me cry till the day I die. Oh, but people, I got to live now. Oh, the Lord knows that I should forgive now. Oh, that's how it begins. You feel those needles and pins. Something stop those needles and pins. Oh, needles and pins. Needles and pins. Those needles and pins. Somebody stop those needles and pins.
Oh yeah, lovely.
FYI, I didn't actually have to play the intro on the recording, so it's right in the recording. It was played well.
I think did someone play that we know?
Well, actually, yeah, Alex Munoz is on that. Alex Munoz, who has been on the show, special guest, he is playing guitar on that, as well as a very, very cool local guitar player here, Ellen Angelico, who is a total badass, and she also works at Fanny's House of Music, which is just a lovely local music establishment, and yeah.
Cool.
She's very much a badass.
And she's on, yeah, it's a cool band that recorded all this. It's very fun.
Yeah, so tune in. Thanks for letting me share, y'all. Thanks for having me on the Good Time Supper Club yet again. It's always an honor to hang with you guys. I have some friends watching tonight. Shout out to Dabs and Meg. They're loving the show.
Thanks, Nikki.
Mwah.
Trev.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
You know it's gonna get stranger. Yeah, I feel like a stranger. Oh, yeah. My pick for this week for the Grateful Dead show of the week comes from this day. In fact, 35 years ago, 11/10/1985, the Brendan Byrne Arena, East Rutherford, New Jersey, home of the, I think, was it the Bullets at the time? Ed, maybe? What were the what hoop team?
Brendan Byrne Arena in New Jersey?
Yeah.
Nets.
Was it the Nets first?
The New Jersey Nets, the Brendan Byrne Arena.
Yeah, the Jersey Nets.
The Bullets would have been the Cap Center in Landover, Maryland.
Oh yeah, I was saying the Bullets for Washington. Yeah. Sorry.
You got it.
Grateful Dead minute, not NBA minute. My bad. Yeah, it's a weird time. 85 is a mixed bag for the band. Jerry had his bust in the beginning of the year, his drug bust, and was just a mess, but started putting the pieces back together throughout the year. And I think mostly sober or getting there by the end of 85, early 86, and gaining strength in just kind of attitude, vibe, and everything. But the band was trying different stuff, and 86 was a weird year too for all that. So there's some really interesting stuff in the show. It's really cool show. The playing's great throughout, but an example would be it's like one of the only standalone I Know You Riders ever, maybe. They play Mississippi Half Step into I Know You Rider. Any deadhead knows that China Cat Sunflower always preceded I Know You Rider, but there's a really interesting Mississippi Half Step I Know You Rider. It's worth listening to. It's really cool. The rider actually crushes. You could tell everybody in the crowd's going crazy, like totally caught everybody by surprise, and the band responds. But I just tease that Feel Like a Stranger. Feel Like a Stranger is kind of like the ultimate let's get this party started set opener, show opener usually, but sometimes a second set opener. But this show contains a first set closer, Feel Like a Stranger, that I will challenge anybody who actually likes the Dead and who likes Feel Like a Stranger, likes the song, to check it out. It's super hot. It's a really, really, maybe it's because they were ending a set with it in a set that they were clearly feeling good, but they just go for it. And the jam on the end is pretty awesome, pretty gooey. So yeah, 11/10/85 from New Jersey, home of the Nets. Drazen Petrovic. He wasn't there in 85 though. Was it Bernard? Who was the hooper? Who was their all-star? Bernard. Ed?
No, Bernard King was with the Knicks.
He was with no, I thought Bernard King. I'm way off on that.
Well, Michael Ray Richardson was good for a couple of years. Then the old
85,
motion powder got the best of him.
Anyway, yeah, the link, if it pops up in the feed, there's it's actually a really cool YouTube, just first set only, so you can watch a little bit of the first set or the entire first set of the show, and a great Matrix recording of the entire show. So thanks everybody. Cheers.
And Trev, you really got to get your NBA history here.
I'm
together.
good, but
go there.
The 80s. I confused myself because I was trying to think of like a former team name, and I'm good once we get into the 90s. Ed's NBA knowledge is deep, going back to like the 60s or something.
Maybe we need to introduce a new segment to the show called the NBA Minute.
Well, I was going to say,
Ed Jurdy.
I was going to say, interestingly enough, I'm going to segue here. We're heading into Trading Places, which has been a morphing segment the last few weeks, but I have to give a shout out to the great NBA legend Tommy Heinsohn, who passed away today. At least a 2-time Hall of Famer, maybe 3 times. Multiple champion with the Celtics as a player and a coach. Yeah, I'm sad for you, Trev. The Supersonics. It's a shame that your city allowed their team to get
I don't even know why I'm wearing
stolen.
it. It's just total random that I'm wearing a Supersonics T-shirt, but
They won one title, Seattle.
they did. Yeah, Euros
1979.
Yeah, Eurosport. They're coming back though. My cousin gave me this shirt, and you notice it's black and yellow. It's not the standard color, so like it's kind of like a sign for people who notice like the team is going to come back, and when they do, they might have new colors, and we're just keeping it, holding it down right now, keeping it real. Russell
Is that
Wilson
supposed to be?
bringing it back.
Is that supposed to be like the Batman like signal or something, like a
It's not a
sign?
bad signal.
Okay.
I'm down here in Austin, wearing it so everybody knows down here that the
Nice.
Supersonics are coming back. all 4 people that I saw today.
I just thought it was a black T-shirt because your cousin knows that you only wear black T-shirts.
Yeah, that too.
All right.
Well, new
yeah,
segments. New segments. Ed and I had a talk today about this segment here, Trading Places, and what it shall be, what it shall become. We've realized Ed and I have kind of gone through the catalog and done most of each other's songs that we feel like we can do. And the Trading Places segment was born from our personal concerts where people ask us sometimes to play the other one's songs, and it's been really fun. Don't know what y'all want to hear. I'm curious, like, do y'all want to hear us repeating some of the ones we've done, or should we go into some new territory here? And we had an idea today.
Yes, we did. So this week, I don't know if this will be the same next week, but we decided to pay homage to another great songwriter who passed away recently, the great Billy Joe Shaver. And I'm going to kick it off here with the title track from the record Old Five and Dimers, 1973. Incredible record. I highly encourage you to check it out. I had spent a nice afternoon with this record today. Lots of great tunes on it, but the title track is fantastic. And here we go. Here's one for the late, great Billy Joe Shaver. I spent a lifetime making my mind up to be more than measure of what I thought others could see. Good luck and fast bucks are just too far and too few between for Cadillac buyers and old five-dimers like me. She stood beside me, letting me know she would be something to lean on when everything ran out on me. Well, fenced yards ain't whole cars, and like as not never will be. A reason for rammers and old five-dimers like it's taken me so long, and now that I know, I believe all that I do or say is all I ever will be. Too much ain't enough for old five-and-dimers like me. Too far and too high and too deep ain't too much to see. Yeah, an old five-and-dimer is all I intended to be.
Nice, man.
All right.
I was losing myself, refilling my water jug.
Got to stay hydrated, man.
Yeah.
Busket.
Busket, that's right. That's a busket right there.
Old Billy Joe.
All right. Well, I'm gonna do a Billy Joe song here. Yeah. What a life, what a career, what a true outlaw. Billy Joe Shaver, the real deal. Here's one that he wrote with his son Eddie Shaver. I'm gonna live forever, I'm gonna cross that river, I'm gonna catch tomorrow now. You're gonna wanna hold me just like I always told you. You're gonna miss me when I'm gone. Nobody here will ever find me, but I will always be around. Just like the songs I leave behind me, I'm gonna live forever now. You fathers and you mothers, be good to one another. Please try to raise your children right. Don't let the darkness take them, don't make them feel forsaken, just lead them safely to the light. When this old world has blown us under, and all the stars fall from the sky, remember someone really loves you. We'll live forever, you and I. I'm gonna live forever, I'm gonna cross that river, I'm gonna catch tomorrow now. I'm gonna live forever, I'm gonna cross that river, gonna catch tomorrow now. I'm gonna live forever, I'm gonna cross that river, I'm gonna catch tomorrow now. You're gonna wanna hold me just like I always told you. You're gonna miss me when I'm gone. I'm gonna live forever, gonna cross that river, gonna catch tomorrow now. I'm gonna live forever, I'm gonna cross that river, gonna catch tomorrow now.
Oh yeah, good one. Great tune. Great song.
Great song.
All right. Well,
Well,
we're here again, folks. This is a good
Man.
one. This is like a dead show tonight, a little long and sprawling. We had a week off, so we were feeling fresh this week. So we're gonna do one more here for you, where we pass the ball around the circle
yeah,
and shoot to score.
we 31 weeks. Crazy. Y'all ready?
Ready.
Just remember, folks, everybody might be saying different things, but we're all in this together. Thanks for hanging with us for 31 weeks. You say yes, I say no. You say stop, I say go, go, go. Oh no. You say goodbye, and I say hello, hello, hello. Don't know why you say goodbye, I say hello, hello, hello. Don't know why you say goodbye, I say hello. I say
Well, you say yes, I say no. You say stop, and I say go, go, go. Ooh, oh no. You say goodbye, and I say hello. Hello, hello. I don't know why you say goodbye, I say hello. Hello, hello. I don't know why you say goodbye, I say hello. Hello, hello. I don't know why you say goodbye, I say hello. Oh, oh, oh. Hello.
Hey, hey, but hello. Hey, hey, but hello. Hey, hey, but hello. Ooh, hey, hey, but hello. Hey, hey, but hello.
Oh, yes.
Nice finish. Nice getting you
Yeah. Man, thank y'all so much. 31 weeks. The Good Time Supper Club. Thanks so much for hanging with us. We're all in this together, and we're grateful to spend some time together every week. We will see you again next week.
All right.
Thanks, y'all. Thank you, JD McPherson. Thank you, Nikki Bloom. Y'all tune in on Friday night.
Thank you, JD.
Friday night, Nikki's new video record. Check it out.
Woo!
Thanks for coming out. We're the band of Heathens. What a place. This is our first time here. This is a classy joint, y'all. Thanks for joining us. I'm not running to get nowhere. Kicking back up as much as I can, coming in on a wing and a prayer. I'm your last been undone.